नमस्कार, आप सभी का आईएएस भारत में स्वागत है। हमारे फ्री क्रैश कोर्स को ज्वाइन करने के लिए गूगल फॉर्म को फिल करें जो कि नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दिया गया है। धन्यवाद।
Jai Hind, friends. When Satyendranath Tagore became the first ICS in India, it became a very big surprise for almost all the Indians, including the British. Because in British period, it was very challenging for an Indian to qualify ICS. Slowly, people started entering into the service known as Steel Framework of India. India became independent and ICS turned into IAS. Still, it is the most prestigious job in this country and also the most challenging competition in the country. Every year, at least 1 million people, 10 lakh maximum, appear for this examination. So out of 1 million, 10,000 qualify for mains, and from that 10,000, 3,000 go for interview. Approximate data I'm giving you. And out of that 3,000, 700 to 800 or maximum 1,000 people are selected every year. So the journey starts from 1 million and then it reaches to 700. So it becomes very challenging to open the Chakravyuh of civil services. The first gate is very dangerous. Well, majority collapse in the first gate. In spite of all the hard work they do, there are many people who are preparing for the past 3 years, 4 years, 7 years. The second gate is not so much challenging, but it requires a very applied mind. The essay paper, the first paper, again a paper of abundance and the paper of collapse also, both. You can get 60 marks in essay, you can get 120, 30, 40 marks in essay. GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and then the story goes on. And finally, when you come to that last gate, interview, it is again a very big challenge. You will clear your DAF, you will go and answer. But finally, when they start checking your personality, knowledge and ignorance, opinion comes between it. There are also multiple people, in spite of having good knowledge, they collapse to present their opinion. So the past 7 to 8 podcasts I have introduced the big faces, the young faces who are open to open this Chakravyuh. Today I am going to introduce you a girl and now an IAS officer, Sonali Jha from Bihar. Welcome, Sonali. And congratulations for qualifying this examination.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for having me here.
Sonali, before I start my questions, I want you to give a brief description of yourself, about yourself, your family members, your educational background, and then we'll start the questions.
Yes, sir. So I was born and brought up in Delhi itself, but my parents originally hail from Bihar, and I did my schooling from South Delhi. And after that, my graduation from Miranda House in Political Science Honors. I completed my graduation in 2022. And since when I was in my 10th standard, somehow I had decided that, okay, I have to go in a career of government services. But then it was during the graduation years that I had more curiosity towards it, and then I started preparing for it. I just jumped into this Chakravyuh. But then in the formative years, like in the first 2 attempts itself, I could not clear the first stage, that is prelims.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You tell me about your father.
Yes, sir. So actually my father, he migrated from Bihar under some kind of unfortunate circumstances. Then he came here, he toiled hard, and then somehow we got good education because of him.
Your father is a?
He's in a simple private company, in a private textile company, not a very big job, but a general middle class.
Middle class.
Yes, sir. And
what is his name?
His name is Jagdish Mohan Jha.
Mr.
Yes,
Jagdish
sir.
Mohan Jha. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Your mother?
My mother is a homemaker. She's not even very well educated. She is only she must have been only 8th or 9th class studied only. So she's a general homemaker. And
what's her name?
Her name is Kavita Jha. And then I have a younger brother who has been a great support also, and his name is Manav.
This was a family. So you did your 11th, 12th, which stream?
So actually, there's a story to it also. In 11th, I just because I was very good at studies, so under societal pressure, somehow I was not very matured. So I took science because people said you should go for engineering. But then somehow some calling came from inside, and after studying humanities for 1 year, then I just switched on to after studying science for 1 year, I switched on to humanities. So I have studied both, but because I was more aligned to humanities, so 1 year science, 1 year humanities.
You gave your first attempt in 2024.
Yeah, no sir, in 2022 itself.
22 itself.
Yes, sir.
So you failed to qualify prelims.
Prelims.
Then 2023.
Three again prelims failure.
How you overcome it?
Yes, sir. So actually, I didn't had any plan B at that time. So it was for me. I know it should not be like that, but for me, it was a do and die situation. I didn't like have anything in sight, far away. So that actually motivated me that मेरे पास कुछ करने को तो और है भी नहीं. So I anyhow continued. There was an inner voice that I should be doing this only. And parental support, some very special friends were there. They had very.
Would you like to take some name of those friends?
Yes, sir. I have. Actually, sir, I was very
But
isolated.
you do one thing. Don't
Yes,
take
sir.
any name. Otherwise, others will be offended. Leave it.
No, yes, sir. But mostly, sir, I didn't had a very good friend circle. Very like large. I had only 2-3 limited friends, but they were very extra special for me. So it was that limited motivation that helped me, sir.
Achha. How you got this inspiration of, from where the first idea clicked in your mind? I will prepare for civil services.
Yes, sir. So actually, it was when I was in 10th standard. So there are the 10th NCERT textbooks. So in that, there was a chapter by the name Decentralization, where I saw the picture of Gram Panchayat and people's voice, such kind of terms. So just I got to know, like I had curiosity that how come people themselves develop themselves. Then after that, I got to know, okay, there are certain officers which who work in out ground level, and then they support these people. So somehow, sir, working out with on the ground reality with the general public. So from that 10th standard textbook and that motto of decentralization, power in our own hands. So that motivated.
And then you started preparing from school times?
No, sir, not from
College.
school times. Yes, first I just did well in school so that I could secure a good college. And thereafter, from the second year, I started preparing.
You studied in which college of Delhi University?
In Miranda House.
Miranda.
Yes, sir.
So you thought about civil service, and then what was the first step?
Yes, sir. So first step was to just go through the YouTube videos, the toppers talks, because when I see in hindsight, actually I was not that mature that I need a proper guidance, because as an aspirant when we join, we just see that okay, ho jayega anyhow. I thought that I am also a very good school topper, college topper, so I can do. So I just simply just. Searched on YouTube, saw toppers talk, but I did I made a yearly plan with all the book list, and I wrote the syllabus by my hand, and then just like any school exam, I just bought books and started studying.
So Sonali, before entering into this Panipat field of civil services, she did a very good thing. You should note it down immediately. She started listening to the toppers. It's a very good point. Before entering into a battlefield, if you go and judge the battlefield, if you know about the battlefield, it becomes very good for you. I tell you, majority. Failure means what? Failure means a very simple thing. You never planned your game. See, the first thing the lady says, I was not so much mature, but then I did not had so much guidance from outside. And the best part I did, I started listening to the toppers from the YouTube channels and all. And then she took out the syllabus, she started pointing out the things. This was the first step you did.
Yes, sir.
After this, second step?
So then second step was after I made the plan and strategy, I felt I have to go simply as I did in my school and college. I bought the books, started reading them out, and because my GS knowledge was good enough, so I didn't...
No NCERTs?
So yes, I refer to certain NCRTs of polity, but then because I had humanities background and mostly the fundamentals of NCRTs were clear. So I started first some basic NCRTs like for 1 month, but then I thought that okay, I have a good level of this level knowledge. Then
So, Ali, just a minute. Why NCRTs are important for the UPSC aspirants?
yes, sir. Because there are certain foundation and basic conceptual clarity about the different themes of Indian polity. When you read the NCRT of Indian polity, you will actually grasp not factual knowledge but conceptual understanding. Like I told, decentralization. You can only feel these things. So NCRTs, if you read, you will get a feeling of how the Indian democracy, Indian whatever culture, diversity, geography, how it works in practical sense. So for that, whatever that has been called the basics, आपके या fundamentals, that would be cleared from there.
Again, she is repeating the same thing. Ki majority of the students in India, after completing their 10th, they go into the science stream because most of them want to be doctor or engineer. This is a story to a larger level. Now the trend is changing. She also says in the beginning, ki because of the societal pressure, she took science.
Yes, sir.
So I request to the parents, ki treat her as an example. Don't pressurize your children. If they are going for humanities, listen to them and respect them. You share your experience with them, not your ego. Who helped you in changing this stream?
So actually my father. So because my principal was very against it because she thought she'll lose a potential science candidate. But then father said that okay, my daughter wants to go into humanities. He requested to the principal and then she changed the stream.
That means that 98% of her success credit goes to Mr. Jagdish Jha. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Hannah?
Yes, sir.
Don't pressurize your children. Let them study what they want. Interest is a thing which generates, motivates by itself. So when humanities is neglected in this country, you don't know what is the role of history in life, geography, polity, economy. You see this country, people don't know the relation between geography and economy. And without understanding these things, how you will take this country to become a superpower? First thing is what? You have to understand these subjects. History is a past which acts as a mirror for you. Today, if you see the country today, the same situation was faced by Ashoka, the Great. He comes out with the policy of Dhamma. He handles the diversity of this country. We can today also handle it. Geography means what? Culture, economy, all these things. So, every aspirant who enters into this examination of civil service, it is mandatory for all of you to prepare a strong background of geography, polity, economy, and all humanities subject so that you can have a background, you can connect, you can understand what exactly geography is. All of them, almost all the toppers who came and sat here, they all talked about NCRT. So NCRT is the door for civil services.
Oh, yes, sir. Good.
Third step.
So third step was just reading those, doing that boring work again and again.
Boring. See, this is what I think that guy from Aniket Kumar. Aniket Kumar said, when I was having a chat with him, Aniket Kumar said, ki sir, the most important aspect of civil services is that you should learn the art of repeating the boring things. She is also saying the same thing. See the common points between all the toppers. She is repeating the same thing, ki I was doing the boring things again and again. This is the point which you have to write down and underline and view every day. Okay, fine. You are doing these boring things again and again.
Yes,
How you motivated for these boring things again and again?
So when I was in first attempt preparation, so there was definitely a goal that okay, prelims is on this day of May. So then it was a cycle. I made the monthly plans. I referred to the books, then did first reading. And by the time I was doing this, because the syllabus is such a vast syllabus, so the time itself passed by. So anyhow, and then obviously that inner will, that do and die thing. So I just continued.
How to decode this vast syllabus? How you prepared
Yes,
your
sir.
notes?
Yes, sir. So first of all, there is the UPSC syllabus. So I feel that for prelims, it's very short. If you have to actually understand the demand of UPSC, so you should just see the mains syllabus, which is
Correct.
paper wise and pointer wise.
Hmm.
So I wrote that by myself.
Hmm.
And actually, the mains syllabus is a detailed syllabus of prelims itself, except of the GS4 paper, because that is anyhow philosophical. So I will say that first you just see all the topics of the GS mains syllabus.
Done.
Yes, sir.
Then?
Then after that you should have then comes the segregated preparation. That first you have to build a foundation GS in which you will have your NCERT plus standard books. Now this is your foundation of the entire conceptual clarity. After that you will go deeper. That is for the mains specific notes, paper wise notes like GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. After that, when your mains and
No. How to prepare the notes of this 1, 2, 3 and 4?
Yes, sir. Okay. So for that, see, some people are very note-making kind of person that they just prepare their own handmade note. But sir, some people are semi-note-making. Like I was one of them, that I just took help from certain coachings. For that, what you can do first is your standard book. Any standard book, almost all the coachings have same. For instance, if I take my example, I referred, for instance, for ethics. If I had to make a main specific note for ethics, I referred to 2-3 different books. For instance, one was GS4 by Aram IS Academy, Pearson publication. And similarly, 1-2 other famous books. And then you can just note down, you can take one topic, make all the, it will take 1 to even, I think for one topic, it could even cover 3-4 days.
Sonali,
Yes, sir.
are you angry?
No, sir.
Your face looks like you're becoming angry.
No, sir.
You are remembering all those torturous days and you are...
No, sir.
Don't be so angry.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Listen. You're going in a very right direction. Fine. See, my point is, you got 89th rank
Yes, sir.
under 100.
Yes, sir.
It's a good rank. By God's grace, you are going to get IAS officer. You will get your cadre also. Point is, two things are very challenging for the new aspirants.
Yes.
First is the limit of preparation. For example, you are preparing fundamental right. So if you pick up fundamental right from NCERT, it has a frame.
Yes, sir.
From Subhas Kashyap, it will expand little bit. Then you enter into this Lakshmikant, it's more expansion. You go to DT Basu, it becomes an ocean.
Yes, sir.
And the students get confused. So they want to listen from you that how you curtailed this entire syllabus and limited the things. From where you got this vision, ki yaar, this should be the parameter of the notes, this should be the limit of the notes, and this should be the words of the notes.
Yes, sir. And I think, sir, it's a very hard skill also. But when I, like in the earlier attempts, I listened to Topper's talk. So they were saying limited resources.
So first point is limited resources.
Yes. But then once we enter, that is actually, this is actually a mental game, I feel. That I just made my mind that, okay, I'll refer to only 2 sources, not more than that. And actually, I will say that when aspirants try to refer to different resources, it's not their fault. They'll feel that they'll have this FOMO, that I'm just leaving certain concepts of certain topics. But I'm sitting here and I'm telling you all the notes, mostly all the publications, they must be having only around 10% of difference, not more than that. And then actually that doesn't matters. So I think I can only assure you, when Toppers used to say, I also didn't used to believe, that actually costed me around at least 1 to 2 of my attempts. So please believe, have limited notes. That is actually mental game which you have to control.
What is the role of PYQs?
For PYQs, yes, sir.
PYQs in making notes.
For notes, so PYQ gives the theme. Because if there is, for instance, there is a topic in internal security about left wing extremism. So if you cover all the PYQs of left wing extremism, that you will cover all the what, why, when, how, everything, the government measures, the solution. Whenever a question comes about left wing extremism, because you have, on the basis of PYQ themes, you have prepared all these subparts, you will be able to answer. Because UPSC also, because any kind of topic has a, maybe it will have 10 subparts or 12 if you are well prepared. That is on the basis of PYQ itself.
Fine.
Yes.
So you read some toppers' notes also?
Yes, sir. For certain subjects.
Any particular name?
Sir, because I was been preparing from around 4 years. So I think at that time, Rushikesh Reddy sir's note were very famous. Actually it was free of cost, not associated with any coaching.
Achha.
He actually put it on his own Telegram channel.
He qualified. He is an IS officer.
So maybe IPS. Similarly, Shruti Sharma ma'am, rank 1, she had very wonderful ethics note.
Oh, great.
So
See.
Yes, sir.
Again, the 4 points. First point, NCERT for the fundamentals. Don't simply read, create the fundamentals. Second thing she says, again the repetition. She says, ki boring works you have to do again and again. The third thing she says, ki when you are sitting for the notes, to prepare the notes, your syllabus in front, then PYQs to corroborate, and along with the PYQs, the toppers' notes. This will be a balanced preparation where you will have a complete compiled notes of whatever you require.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
So your mains is over. What you did for prelims? You disqualified in 2 attempts.
Yes, sir.
Hai
Yes, sir. So I think prelims is not a major game of knowledge, and that is what I didn't understand.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Very crucial line you gave. It's not a major game of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Then what is this game of?
Yes, sir. So it's a game of temperament and mindset that you have in those 2 hours. I think that I was very nervous. I was also having some anxiety. I had lack of confidence. When I used to bubble the OMRs, I used to doubt myself. And then when I came home, I saw that okay, ye to theek ho jata answer. So I think that is where these mindset is required in the prelims, those 2 hours specifically.
Temperament and mindset.
Yes, sir. So in third attempt, what I did, I was more calm. I was like that. I was very confident, and that this confidence comes from limited sources revision, multiple revision of limited sources.
1 minute. What this multiple revision does?
So that is from where confidence come.
And?
If I'm seeing a question. And obviously, when you'll be having confidence for one question, you'll mark the correct in the bubble. So actually, you are ahead of the entire people. The problem with the students which I see is that they refer many resources, and human brain is actually limited for a limited span of time. It's limited. So actually, multiple resources say it will be your own loss. So, if you are very confident about your content, you will be able to bubble it nicely because you will be confident. It's 100% this answer. Secondly, sir, again the time management. In the very first attempt, I could not even see the entire paper once. So that is where practice comes. Once you have covered your syllabus, your knowledge is done. Now comes the art, that is the skill of practicing. How many questions to attempt, how many rounds to give.
She gives you a very good term, art. See, when you listen to these toppers, most of the time what you do, you fascinate yourself that I will also give one day podcast. You don't try to learn from them. It's an art, basically, art. She says practice is an art. Build up the confidence, time management, plus. Possibly she is angry today. You see, the way she is speaking, though it seems she is angry, but she is missing possibly one thing, which is again very important, that you practice those questions which are common sense based questions. As she said, I came back first attempt. When I came back first attempt and when I reviewed the paper, I said, this answer can be correct. So what happened to her in the first attempt? She was not able to decode the common sense questions. Why? Panicness. Stress, anxiety. Third attempt she goes and she is calm. UPSC is very clear. It's a competition. It's a competition. UPSC is very clear about the psychology कि in war or competition, people generally are not able to maintain their calmness. When panicness starts, it happens. Many times you're talking to a person, you forget a name. When you forget a name, it seems that it's just you are going to remember it, but you don't remember for 2-3 days. You know why? Panicness. Panicness, stress, anxiety, it kills common sense. She also says the same thing. Ki practice is an art. So if you don't know that art, you'll go on practicing for the next 3,000 years. So practice, solve the question, prepare your report cards. Report cards of every paper what you solve, prepare your report cards. Which subject is weak, which section is weak, which type of question you are unable to solve regularly, and do it till the report card gives you the excellence.
Right.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now she spoke about pain, she spoke about prelims, she spoke about the general things. Interview.
Yes, sir.
You gave interview in 2024
24 and 25.
25.
Also. Yes, sir.
So what were the marks in 2024?
So it was 165.
165.
Yes, sir.
Any question which you remember and you want to share? Your choice. If you don't want to share, okay, fine.
So I do not remember like very
Leave it.
well.
Leave it.
Yes.
This attempt 170 marks.
Yes, sir. So this attempt was also generally based on DAF only.
Hmm.
There were questions from Bihar on women empowerment and general questions were there.
Hmm.
Some in some about current affairs also. And like mine was Dinesh Dasa sir's board. So he also asked some basic questions like about movies, about Bollywood culture.
Which
And-
movie you talked about?
So he was just asking that how many movies you watch in a month or so. So general things. Then he asked
Which
about.
movie you told him?
So I was telling about Dhurandhar,
Achha.
which I saw, and then also he just asked some questions about like Amitabh Bachchan, why he is so famous. So such a basic question, and apart from that, DAF questions.
Daft question.
Yes, sir.
CSET is a very big challenge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your opinion on CSET?
Yes, sir. And in my second attempt, my GS was cleared, but CSAT I just fell by like around 2 marks.
Oh.
The cutoff was 67, and I had 64 marks, 64 point something. So actually, that 2 marks had costed me entire 1 year, which I even feel till now. So, sir, I think the biggest problem in CSAT is that we do not practice. It's a game of practice. Again, that temperament that is used in GS.
You do one thing.
Yes, sir.
You give a brief description of CSET preparation.
Yes, sir. See, for CSAT first, sir, we need to have, it's 3 section based paper. So first you have to see that which section of yours is weaker. And you have to, you have to have a good command, at least above average command in all the sections. It is not that time of like 2010s and 15 when people used to just do 2 section and pass. You have to be good at all sections. For me, for instance, my reading comprehension and reasoning was sorted and it was good. So I practiced more of mathematics, quantitative aptitude. Now you have to first do this, test that which part of yours is lacking. Once you do that test, then comes the second step, that is practice. If you have problem in reading comprehension, just do the PYQs of UPSC, because in the market CSAT tests are not of the quality of UPSC, not at all. In GS still they match somehow, but in CSAT they haven't matched as yet. I have not seen any test. So just practice 10 years PYQ. If you have problem in reasoning and maths, so mostly, which I also had, so you have to just take any competitive exams book, and it has all those topics, ratio, proportion, measurement. Just practice that. This way your holistic practice has been done. Then like you do for your GS, just add some full length test. Once you do this, and even I like to share one thing that maybe some people do not believe, but even for CSAT in the 2024 attempt, I gave at least 22 to 25 mock test just for CSAT. So please take it very seriously, otherwise it can cost you your attempts.
What was your optional?
So PSIR.
You had in your graduation also.
Yes, sir. Political science.
So that means you
honors.
got a good base from your college.
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Some basic.
So
clarity.
what about this optional? What you will say? What is your opinion about this optional?
Yes,
Acha,
sir.
one thing, your opinion about the optional plus what should be the parameter to select optional, because you see, when even if you came here,
Yes.
you must also be thinking, is it a right option or not? What should be the right option? So majority of the students are waiting. They are waiting to listen you. What parameter you are giving to select optional? So you tell me two things: PSIR as optional and criteria is to select optional.
So first I'll try to tell why you should choose a optional. I think this again comes to your gut feeling. I was very sure that I have interest in political science anyhow since like I joined the secondary school. So you have to see yourself. If someone has interest in geography, maths, that's okay, because this is a subject with which you have to live at least for 3 to 4 years. In my case, because I had 4 attempts, so 4 to 5 years I was with this subject. Second comes whether you have certain background in it or not. Like I had a good background in 10th also, I referred 12th and then college. And third is also sometimes you can see the marking trend. For instance, which I have seen in science and BTech students, they come from mathematics or engineering background, but they then take anthropology or sociology. That's because these are common subjects which could be understood. So three things: your interest, the marking trends, and also your whatever resources you refer or your background. So three things.
PSIR as optional is good.
Yes, sir. It's like average. This is actually most of these optionals are same.
What advantage it gave you?
So actually, I had an advantage that I had background in it. Secondly, also you can use this across your GS. Like in GS2, the IR portion, the governance, this essay paper and ethics. Because the first part of PSIR is Western scholars, Indian scholars, and it's also philosophical. So it helped me in GS papers also, and also in general in GS governance. Because when you read optional, you understand deeply the concepts of empowerment, democracy, equality. When you'll understand, because in UPSC there are certain questions which any book does not have any answer. You have to generate on the spot. So that will only come when you have a clear understanding of these concepts.
You're a girl, and you're a girl from a middle class,
Yes,
as
sir.
you said. Your father is having a private job, not to a higher status, as you said again. And then your father migrated from Bihar because of certain challenges he was facing in that state. You came here, you studied anyhow, and then you dreamt about civil services. You failed in 2 attempts. How you, as a girl from a middle class, how you were able to handle this societal pressure?
So firstly, for that I'll say that I have been lucky. I have good parents who always supported me, and so parental support is first thing.
What your parents used to say when you failed in 2 attempts?
So they used to say that हमें भरोसा है तुम पे. So they were very like they were confident कि तुम्हारा होगा ही.
आप भी अपनी बेटा बेटियों से कहो, हमें भरोसा है तुम पे. It acts as a, what you say, a motivating agent. If the parents are standing by the side of the aspirant, I tell you, all of you who are watching this episode, if parents are standing by the side of the aspirant, 95% his mental status will be strong. Isn't it?
Yes, sir, sure. Yes.
That was one point. Another?
So secondly, there are certain things which we can't talk always to our parents. So then come the role of your peers and your friends. So I had 1-2 very close friends, very special friends. So they had very personal attachment with me, and they used to say, "You'll do." So because you can have certain friends who can also demotivate you. So just keep away from these people. What I feel that I just did one thing, I isolated myself. Because the noise was so hard to tackle that I said, okay, मैं एक रूम में बैठ के मैं अपना पढ़ाई करूंगी. And because इस market में नहीं घुसना, it's mostly your hard work, your self work that you will pay off. So do not enter into this chaotic market, because यहाँ पे हर type के opinions मिलेंगे.
What about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
No, sir, I was not there on these apps. I used to use YouTube only, and I didn't had Instagram and Facebook account.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
No Facebook.
No, sir.
She advises you to maintain the distance from the chaotic atmosphere. She advises you to refrain from all the social media platforms which is of no use. She says, I used to go through YouTube, but natural. You'll get the materials there. So you can go through it. But then you should refrain from all these things. Success does not mean only studying. Success has multiple aspects. So she has good friends. Her family was with her. She has a pragmatic mind. She was able to take decisions. She was understanding the game right from the very beginning. When you understand and you have a potential, anyone who sits on your chariot will become a great help for you. Simple. Even Krishna selects Arjun because that person has a potential. So now tell me, what are the features that a person should develop in a college time
Yes, sir.
if he aspires to enter into the civil service? What are the features he or she should develop while he or she is present in the college?
So firstly, having a understanding of whatever is happening nationally and internationally. Practically, it means reading newspapers and having a holistic coverage. The basics that I said. By the time you end up your college, you should have, if you are aspiring for civil services, you should have your basics done, which I did. Secondly is the consistency. Till school, we do not actually have a hard and fast timetable. But this UPSC it's like it's like a complete 24 hours calculation that even I had. So maintaining a consistency and time tracking, because it's a art, so you'll at least take 2 to 3 months to learn it. उसमें ढलने के लिए you need time. So just go in with the flow कि now I'm entering into a different direction. So I should be, I should be valuing time. I should be consistent. Apart from that, also very analytical and observant, that I already told in first point. In terms of like, if you're practicing MCQ, just having that common sense, just having that logical guessing, and then understanding the basics. There are certain questions, for instance, in our mains paper, which are generally based on which even a common man can answer. So that requires a holistic understanding of all the dimensions of society, governance, etc. So like this, you have to be very well aware. By the time you just graduate, just make sure that you are well aware, and you can just view toppers talk, etc. Matlab your basics should be done, and then you will advance on to intensive preparation.
Newspapers are the lifeline of civil services.
Yes, sir.
This examination.
Yes, sir.
How you handled it?
Yes, sir. Sir, first of all, I had this habit of reading newspaper every morning. So I used to give it full 2 hours. In this, most important thing that I did was giving due, focus on the editorial part. Reading it well, trying to link it with the syllabus. Not even the editorial, that is very useful, but even when you are well grasped the syllabus, then you will understand that any article that can be used. For instance, if there is a topic of NGO in our mains paper, anything which used to come regarding the foreign FCRA Act, so I used to link that. So first you have to have a very depth understanding of syllabus, and then any article you have to think it that way ki, how I will use this in mains. And that will your value added content. You do not actually need other compilations for it. If you are very well doing with your newspapers, you can get small basic value additions from there itself.
Do you think AI will impact the preparation of civil services?
Yes, sir, very much. In terms of efficiency, in terms of value addition, and also time saving, and obviously cost saving.
Definitely.
Yes.
Do you accept that the UPSC is continuously changing its trend year by year?
Yes, sir.
So what precautions should be taken by the aspirants?
So first is that your preparation should be like, it should not have any loophole. In the earlier, I used to listen that some people used to skip art and culture, for instance. They used to think, okay, prelims mein we'll just anyhow do 80 questions. But now the trend has changed. Now you have to make sure that from your side you have covered every topic. You do not miss any topic. It's not a game. Earlier, it used to be said that essay we can just leave and we can write anything. So now it's demanding, because the competition is so cutthroat. You cannot leave any hole without cemented. So you have to make sure that all the loopholes have been covered, and you have to be perfect. Although it's very hard to be, but try to be as perfect as you can be.
But hard work you have to do, na?
Yes, sir.
After all, you are going to qualify this prestigious examination in
Yes,
India.
sir.
So now coming to the main syllabus of civil services, we'll take up the first paper itself, essay. Only one S if you remove from there, it will become easy.
Yes.
But it's not so easy. So what do you mean when you say essay? What do you mean by essay?
So, in my opinion, it's actually writing a holistic coverage about a topic, that what do you understand, and writing it in a way that no dimension is actually left. And like
Which essay you wrote this year?
One was life is not a destination, it's a journey.
So
And
what was the first introduction in that?
So it was the story about Louis Braille, who actually discovered the Braille system, because when he was a child, some kind of health issues happened, and he got blind. And then like society taunted him that this is your destiny, now just go on with this, you will remain like this only. But then he fought it up. He discovered a system through which the blind people can learn, educate themselves. So then I followed. So this
Wow.
was the introduction.
How much marks they gave you? 112.
Yes, sir.
And this was the reason you started a very good introduction. Life is not a
Destiny, it's a journey.
It's a journey. Then you wrote about the flow of. This was the
Yes,
introduction.
different- Yes.
Then
In the introduction itself, you have to give 2 paragraphs. First is the example, and then the explanation. And that explanation will include your thesis. Then you start in with the dimensions. Now, the problem is that earlier we used to write political, economic, social. Now that is going completely out of trend. Now you have to be more philosophical and poetical. So more emphasis has to be on explanation. For instance, when I have just given the example, I started introduction. Now I will be starting writing about this topic in different dimensions. Why, how, and in between I'll give shorter and smaller example, but more emphasis to explain those examples.
Acha.
Yes, sir.
You'll take a example,
Yes, sir.
and then you'll narrate the explanation of that example.
Yes, and
any like you did with the introduction,
yes, sir.
Hannah, Louis Braille and all.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Conclusion.
For conclusion, there are different ways. Some people say you can conclude by poem, phrases, etc., quotes. So in one essay, I concluded by poem, and in another, you can also do one thing. You can just bring that character back.
Acha.
Okay, and you can just counter question that what would have happened if Louis the Braille, he would not have seen this kind of future, or he would not have this kind of courage. So there are different kind of, but the most important thing, you have to be unique somehow. And the older trends,
What does this word uniqueness means?
So uniqueness meaning that when people are reading, because when the examiner will go through so many copies, he should actually develop an interest, and interest will only come when something new or something noble would come. For instance, if someone is writing about a political angle, social, that will examiner will see, okay, he's just following the older trend. But when you just question mark, or you put any kind of very unique example, or 2 different examples together, and just put a question that, okay, how these 2 different stories unfold differently. So I feel that it's more about writing novel, although it's a very difficult thing, but that is what UPSC wants now.
Novel or epic?
So not epic, but even if you somehow try to copy a poetical language, that will help.
Hannah?
Yes, sir.
Time division?
About
Time
both the
management?
essay. So around a half and half, like 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then 1 hour 30 minutes. But it will definitely naturally in the first essay you will give 10 minutes or 5 minutes more only.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you can just continue with your second. But please do not compromise the second essay for the first one.
There is no fixed resources for this.
No, sir, no fixed resources. You can use your internet, you can use books, quotes, only to collect more of philosophy. Please ensure that there are no GS based facts. Last year, what I did, I wrote more about the facts. In one paragraph only, I used to write so many facts, schemes, government data, etc. But this time, I focused on quoting novels, scholars, quotes, phrases, Gita, Mahabharat, anything about Bible. So these things will matter more in essay.
Means you want to say, you have watched that movie Three Idiot.
Yes, sir.
She wants to basically say, when you see a movie, you see how the movie starts, a person enters into the movie starts in a very smart way. A plane is there, ready to take off, and then the drama starts and the person comes out, they have heard about their old friend who is missing for a long time. And then the school story, college story, curiosity, common sense, learning. If you see that movie, it's very well structured to tell you the importance of education. If you see that movie Three Idiot, it's very well structured, and it right from the very beginning. Curiosity is the mother of knowledge. Applied knowledge, applied. You see, when the ragging takes place, what he did, he applies his knowledge. He pulls out the wire, he wraps in a spoon.
Yes, sir.
Hai na?
Yes, sir.
That is what you do. That is what you do. Then when the dean is taking the lecture, he asks a question. He says, why not pencil in the space, sir? Then the way of teaching also. Do you see the campus? Then you see the pressure faced by the students when that young man commits suicide in the campus. The dean scolds his father and he commits suicide. The way of teaching is mentioned. When he says, sir, these are the names of my friend. You can teach better than me. I'm only telling you how to teach. Then the role of common sense. Then the achievement of education. He's not having the degree. He's having 400 patents on his name. And the movie ends with the dialogue, what she says, कि बेटा काबिलियत पैदा करो, सफलता खुद ब खुद तुम्हारे पीछे भागेगी.
Yes.
I think this is the format to write the essays.
Yes, sir, right.
Without resources, YouTube's.
Yes, sir. You
Previous-
can refer to resources, but the resources should be such that it should be. Also, we used to this year someone told me to be more emotional while writing essay, because essay GS mein all your knowledge has been checked. Now they are wanting some kind of your other way thoughts. You know, a parallel universe which you can create, and that could be through different unique thoughts that you can present and different dimensions that you can give.
So you say practice is an art.
Yes, sir.
What is the role of practice in essay paper and how to do it?
So I think essay is one paper which I think what I have heard from toppers also, that you have to be more natural. So here actually practice has to be balanced. Those who score good, this could be also controversial, but I believe that you have, for to be natural, you have to practice less. Now, this practicing means if between pre and mains you have time, so do not go for writing around 20 or 25 essays. Try to focus on 10 only. Because then...
Between prelims and mains.
Yes, sir.
Before
And
that?
even before that, you can practice, but if you're writing 2 essays per month, that is more than enough. The problem is that evaluator will evaluate. He'll give you a specific framework, ki write within this. Then that thing of uniqueness will be lost. And you do not exactly know what the examiner liked in your answer. In GS, things are static, factual. If there is a scheme, that is the scheme only you have to write. But in essay, maybe the dimension that you opened, an evaluator actually crossed it, but the examiner may liked it. So, in essay, just balance the practice. It's not a game of writing essay every week, but I'll say you can practice around 8 to 10 essay. That would be more than enough. More focus should be to be unique and natural.
So this was the first paper, which is very challenging. If you do it properly, it raises your enthusiasm. If you fail, the other 4 papers are going to be affected. So you have to be very much cautious. And the Trinity, essay, ethics, and optional. These are the trinities of civil services, and all the 3 trinities should be prepared properly. First paper, essay paper ends here. So let's start the first paper of GS. Very romantic paper, very important, and sometimes very challenging also. But it's very romantic. History, geography, society. If you know history, I tell you, if simply you start understanding history, there are certain things which will be very clear to you in your life. First thing which will be clear, that how a country or a nation becomes powerful. And when you will come to this question, that how a country or a nation becomes powerful, the immediate answer will be that the country which controls the important technologies of its time becomes the power. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are two factors which will immediately surprise you. You see, United States of America, Apple, you feel pride to keep Apple. The second country, China, OnePlus. You also enjoy it. Samsung. So, when you read history, you get multiple answers of your doubts. Superpowers, how they are formed. You read the history of Magad. What are the points of Magad? The rise of Magad. Great rulers, resources, location. Then when you write the rise of Magad, parallelly you write the rise of Britain. Parallelly you write the rise of United States of America. And then you write the rise of China. And then you write the scope for India. What India has to do to come into these places. This is the role of history.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How you prepared? You have an arts background, so how you prepared history? I will do one by one. Modern India.
So it was from the standard book, Spectrum, and sometimes NCRTs.
Only.
Yes, sir. For main certain specific notes about the personalities and events. Otherwise, the Spectrum covers it well.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
So you made notes of it?
No, sir. It's already in a notes format. Short notes are given at the end. So I just covered that only.
So when you say modern India, what you want to tell to your aspirants, what exactly you have to prepare in modern India? Means I tell you one thing, Sonali, when you prepared modern India,
yes,
what was your vision? Oh, this is the theme I understood about India.
So in general, I have to tell.
General.
So mostly there is that Gandhian phase and the national movement on which even UPSC is based. Academically, for prelims, facts is needed, and for mains, specific value additions like maps and the timelines, some kind of places. So what I feel is that it requires not only, even now in the mains paper, it does not only requires the factual knowledge, but also the true nationalism that was during that time.
Exactly.
So that nationalism, that feeling how that diversity made this impossible task to be possible. So you have to think from that angle.
I want to say that what she wants to say, how India became slave, how India got these modern aspects, and then how India emerged as a modern nation through these modern aspects. These themes should be very clear to you. Culture. Why to study culture?
So because we are a very multicultural society in India, and in every state there is a mini India. So society, and also society is a paper where you can give on-ground examples.
When one goes to Bihar and sees Nalanda, what exactly comes into his or her mind?
So the beautiful and the deep knowledge.
Exactly. See, the glory of education is related to the glory of a state.
Yes.
So when you study about Nalanda, when you study about Takshila, you immediately come to conclusion a country becomes great mainly because of the status of education. This is the role of culture. So how you did? What were the sources for you?
For the cultural part, so there is NCRT of fine arts in which the literature, art and culture has been covered. And apart from it, also you can refer to Tamil Nadu NCRTs. They are also very good because they are in shorter format. Some people refer to the general NCRTs, but I refer to Tamil Nadu ones.
You prepared your notes?
No, sir. I just studied from books.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
World history?
So world history, any kind of coaching compilation, because actually the returns is less, because only 2 or 1 questions come.
And sometimes they don't ask also.
Yeah, no sir, 1 question is asked anyhow.
No, I tell you, you appeared in 2024 first attempt, no?
Yes sir.
23 they did not ask. 22 they did not
Yes,
ask.
yes sir.
World history.
So,
But then what is your opinion for that?
I think because it's very 1-2 questions are there, so you have to focus more on the returns ratio. So just refer to any coaching notes like the Aram IS Academy or any coaching. You can refer according to you.
Post independence?
Again for post independence, same thing. Any coaching, because world history and post independence are two these sections which require less efforts. But make sure that it is covered. That is what I told.
At least you know the story of these
Yes,
areas.
because otherwise then getting a very good rank is not possible. You do not have to leave anything.
Geography.
So for geography, NCRTs, 11th and 12th, there are 4 NCRTs. Very well you have to cover that. Apart from that, there is the topic of resource distribution and climate change, biodiversity. For this, again, your own notes or coaching notes.
You prepared your notes?
No, sir.
You did not prepare your notes?
So I just printed from coaching, and I was actually not a note making person. I was more of that I can take a book and read from that.
Fine. Physical geography becomes a very big challenge for the new aspirants.
Yes, sir.
Especially those who don't have a geography. Actually, you had an edge. You had an edge that you had a humanities in 11th and 12th.
Yes, sir.
Then you went to a very good college. So you had an edge, plus you had an interest also. But those who don't go through geography as a humanity subject, what is your advice for them?
So I think for those who have not a very good base in this, first you can just go to 9th and 10th NCRT. They are very beautifully explained. For geography, I will say you can go, because there are very details also, facts also. So once you go through 9th and 10th NCRT, then obviously 11th and 12th, they are very well covered. And most of the questions in mains or prelims are coming from that only. Apart from that, there is also GC Leong. Yes, if you have to cover anything specifically which is left, so you can refer to that. But NCRT is for an understanding. Those who do not have interest, so they'll just find it good.
Society.
So for society, then there are books like, I refer to Senthil Sir's Pearson publication. All these subparts have been covered. And apart from that, ChatGPT. For the current affairs compilation of very short notes, like when your mains is nearer, like there is 1 month to mains, you can just tell ChatGPT, give me good quality unique examples to quote in society papers. So AI has made it very good. You can just command it and it will give you very beautiful examples.
Apart from this, you do one thing. You just create a picture of American society, position of women, classes in the society, etc. Then you create a picture of Indian society, position of women, classes, etc. And then you take the example of Congo, Zaire, a country on equator in Africa. So keep these 3 countries in front of you and then create the social structure of these 3 countries. Above this social structure, write the economic structure of these 3 countries. And then you will be able to create the picture that how economy is connected with society and how the picture of society is important for the growth and development of the nation. Woman is the foundation stone of family, society and nation. So the country in which woman will suffer, the society in which woman will suffer, the family in which woman will suffer, that family, society and nation, they are also going to suffer. So it's a very dynamic part society, and I don't think if you get so many referred book, NCRT is there for society.
Yes, sir. 11th, 12th, it's sociology.
Sociology. So you can refer that, plus editorials.
Of Hindu and this
Indian Express. Plus coaching notes and all.
Yes, sir.
So that will be a very good thing for you to cover this portion of society. So history, to see past as a mirror. How Magad became an empire. So if Magad can become an empire, that modern India can also become an empire by following the important parameters of Magad. Geography, to see the culture. If you go to Rajasthan, you will see people with a high turban on their head. It's a desert area. Heat stroke is a very big challenge. But if you go to Alaska, that big pagadi is not required. Society tells you the development saga of a nation. This was the first paper. So let's come to the second paper, the spine of GS. Spine. Without spine, a human being cannot survive. Polity, governance, IR. The deadly combination and very important. And I tell you, it's not that syllabus is designed to create pressure on you or to create stress on you. Not at all. It's designed in such a way that you will enjoy the things. Just imagine, you're preparing to be a collector, IFS, IPS, IRS. You're going to serve Indian government. And if you don't understand why international relations are important, what is their role, what is the use of becoming an IAS officer? Similarly, polity. We had monarchy in pre-modern world. Now this new political order has certain specific features, directive principles of state, promise of the state that it will help every hand to come into the mainstream of the society. You should know that, what exactly it means. Governance, the way of implementing the policies, the way of performing, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So polity was your subject.
Yes, sir.
So give a very specific description of polity. How to prepare, what to do, everything.
First of all, I had PSIR as optional, but then the polity of GS2 has to be dealt separately. I didn't left all the time on PSIR itself. I separately prepared this. So first is your base that comes from Lakshmikant. Now, in terms of polity, the base is Lakshmikant. After that, there are certain topics of the mains, okay, and along with that, certain value additions. For instance, the topics of separation of power. Then there is other topics, checks and balances, the union ministries, and representation of People's Act. So you have to make sure that you have very good content of these. Either you make your own notes or take from coaching, you refer anywhere. After that, there are certain add-on without which your answer would be very general. That are the case laws. Apart from that, the committees, reports, second ARC, Niti Aayog reports, all these adds volume to your answer, which will actually give you marks. One very important thing in mains is that you cannot write general. For instance, if I am writing any polity question, I have to show a polity or a legal angle to it. So I prepared case laws beforehand. I did all the value added material. I prepared all the topic wise notes. This was for polity. Then comes, now some people do what? They think that Lakshmikant is enough for polity, but that is not the case. Next comes your governance and social justice. So for governance and social justice, again, you need certain kind of notes. For instance, I referred to the Pearson publication, the Karthikeyan sirs, the Aram Coaching Academy gave one book. If there is a question of NGO, you have to cover all the dimension, the government steps, the where we are lacking. Apart from that, also the value added content. If there is Niti Aayog, they have formed the NGO Darpan. So when you will write such things, that will add value to your answer. And also in governance section, you have to understand these concepts, like what I told in the basics, that you have to understand that how people themselves, they develop themselves, these kind of codes, etc. Then comes international relations. For that, current affairs is the only, the king is the current affairs. You cannot write static. Even now you see, most important, the newspaper editorials. The kind of questions that are coming, they are not from any book or standard resources. They have been taken from editorials. So you have to be well versed where what is happening, all the examples. If we are talking about oil diplomacy, you should have 5 to 6 examples. And also a futuristic angle again, because this year a question came that if you will be an ambassador or an IAS officer, how will you use the art of oil diplomacy? So this is out of box question. For this, you need to prepare all the good examples. So ultimately, the content is the king. This content will come from AI, from newspapers, and coverage of all this, along with static.
Many parents feel problem in understanding the questions of second paper.
Yes.
How you handled it?
So for that is why I told that there has to be certain legal and political angles in your answer. For instance, if a question is coming on any kind of freedom of speech, then mostly students, maybe what they are lacking is that they do not have a specific content. I focused more on quoting as much as possible case laws, committees. I just use the Do Not Miss series in which PYQ themes, and they also just compile it with current affairs. So you can refer to such source where both your current affairs and static is covered. And these has to be specific. Apart from that, you have to give different dimensions of fundamental right. Okay, you have to give a positive angle. Then you have to give a counter argument. Although this is very difficult to do in 2 pages, but those who do this, they score very well. So I'll say writing end to end, covering every dimension. You have to write a positive dimension also, and then counter argument also. And then loading it with as much as possible reports, case laws, that will show actually that you are writing from a knowledgeable angle, not only generalistic.
Governance resource.
Governance resource, I refer to certain coaching books in which also the Karthikeyan sirs, the Aram Coaching Academy gave one book, and some other books, or you can even use the sociology, because sometimes social justice is also a part of that. So NCRTs for base, and all this together you can make your own notes, but topic wise segregated.
How you did value addition in the second paper, that is very important.
Yes, sir. So for that, some coaching notes or AI. The best source is AI, and also some official reports like Niti Aayog has the action agenda plan, or they come with a 2030 roadmap, Viksit Bharat roadmap. So you do not refer to the official document. You can just cover it up with summary, but make sure that you need to show that you have a bureaucratic touch in yourself. For that, some official documents have to be quoted in your answers.
When you say international relation,
yes, sir,
in a very general term, what you will say to the aspirants ki bhaiya, this is the meaning of international relation and this you have to prepare.
So first thing is to understand all the things that are going in the world, and then understanding it from Indian perspective, a perspective of statecraft. Usually that kind of question would be asked. So if I have to prepare, I'll just focus on international current affairs. What is actually driving these current affairs, whether it's geography, whether it's power, economics, whatever. So you have to have an holistic understanding, and how diplomacy actually works. Such kind of question actually comes in main.
No, she says, basically she wants to say, why you maintain relation? To give benefit to someone or to take benefit from others. Now, India is not having the energy reservoir, and the present world is running on energy. So the countries which are having energy, if you don't have relation with them, we will go into the bullock cart era.
Yes, sir.
It's mandatory for us to have a good relation with the energy producing countries. Then comes the term of technology. Although we are moving ahead, in 1947 when India was born, we were asking for wheat from United States of America. Now we have launched the satellites of different developed countries including Germany. This is the achievement of India. It's not that we are not moving ahead. We are moving ahead with a good pace. We are moving to a very brighter face of this country. We have a very good political and economic status in the world today. But for technology, we'll still depend on the developed nations.
Yes, sir.
Then you require money. So you see, you require energy, you require technology, you require money. Sometimes you require space. If you maintain good... Now, Afghanistan cannot give you money, cannot give you energy, cannot give you technology. But Afghanistan can give you the space to enter into Iran, China, Russia. So, but obvious you have to maintain a good relation with Afghanistan. Plus, as an international brotherhood, we aspire for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All should ally, all should grow, all should be happy. G20 summit has a slogan, one earth, one family, one brotherhood. This is the fundamental reason for international relation. And here ends the second paper of GS. Third paper, the soul of civil services. And not only the civil services, it is the soul of human life. Economy. There is to come an ad of Hero Honda's bike. What's life without a little passion? What's life without a little economy? No money, no nation. If you read Rig-Vedic period of ancient India, there is no state. Why? Subsistence economy. So, if there will be a subsistence economy, there will be no taxation. And without taxation, there can be no state. So, economy is the life, soul of a state and human being, both. So, you will see Jana in Rig Vedic, it becomes Janpada, later Vedic, it becomes Mahajanpada, 6th century BC. And in Mahajanpada, you see second urbanization, and that second urbanization creates a Mauryan Empire. This is the role of economy. Mauryan Empire, Gupta Empire, Mughal Empire, all empires have a background that is urbanization. Today, America is an empire, urbanization. China is an empire, urbanization. Then, if you don't protect your environment, because two things have to go parallelly. To save your environment, after Industrial Revolution, the environment became a big challenge. So now the challenge for every emerging nation is that you have to maintain the environment, plus you have to promote the development works. So economy, environment, then internal security. It's not always the threat from outside. Inside is also very critical. Naxalism, insurgency. Then comes disaster management. To save your human resource. You spend so much money on human resource. And if that resource is wiped out by the earthquake, 9.7 Richter scale, everything will be over. So state should always be ready for the disaster management. These four are the pillars of the third paper.
Yes, sir.
Start, Sonali. One by one.
Yes, sir.
One.
Each topic,
Yeah.
each themes.
What to do and how to prepare and resource.
So first we go with economics, which is mostly dynamic, specifically from mains angle. So two major things is your budget of that year and economic survey. You can refer to your summaries also, but I'll say that have a detailed summary, that you should know the basic schemes. Then also one thing is there, then that economy has to be, it has less returns ratio. Question generally come from very deep economic angles. So after economy, for economy you just do these things: the budget and the economic survey and the current affairs that is going. Apart from that, there are topics like resource management. There are certain themes which again repeat every year. So you can just do the PYQ based mapping, that okay, inflation, growth, development. These are only 4 or 5 topics, and make sure that you have very good current data on these. After that comes your agriculture part. Now agriculture is a part, as I said, economy is something which is very dynamic. You may prepare and it does not come. But in agriculture, the themes are such that question will definitely come, and you can also fetch marks. Because agriculture is a generalistic theme. So again, for this, you can refer to the coaching notes. You can get any kind of books, like if I refer to Pearson's, or you can, wherever you are studying, you can refer for them, or you can just refer 2-3 books and make your notes. The same thing goes for all. Then comes your after agriculture. In agriculture, yes, you have to quote the basic committees that are very important. If there is the Dalwai committee, if there is the Niti Aayog report, you need to quote this. So in GS3, most important is quoting reports, best practices. What are going the best practices across your country? If you are writing irrigation, you have to write Meghalaya's bamboo irrigation system or the Israeli irrigation system. So keep on writing these things. After your agriculture comes, again it is linked to somehow geography, your biodiversity. I think 2-3 question comes. So if you are basically you have prepared the greenhouse, etc. So these would be covered. Then you refer to your coaching notes again. After that comes your internal security. Now this is a very scoring part also. So for this, I'll say that have a good command over the current affairs. Everywhere you have to have some static notes that you prepare, and apart from that, just add on the examples from current affairs or from newspapers. You can also use AI, Chat GPT. For instance, you can also use your PYQ themes. I just use the Do Not Miss series, in which PYQ themes, and they also just compile it with current affairs. So you can refer to such source where both your current affairs and static is covered, and make sure that every topic is well covered, and try to be unique again. That give examples. If we are talking about the cyber security, you can just make diagrams. GS3 is a paper which could be loaded with diagrams also, graphs, bars, charts, maps of India. After that comes disaster management. For disaster management, most important here is your the recommendations that are being given on the official website. Just visit that and make a short note of that. Apart from that, map, and again, why, how does it happen, the government measures that have been taken, the Sendai framework, the Hyogo protocol, all these have to be paper specific. Value additions has to be there. So this is how you go for GS3, but make sure that GS3 is more of factual paper. Even I scored not that good. Some people even score in hundreds, and some people score in 80s and 70s. So definitely there is a need for loading it with data and making good value additions.
What Harsh Nehra said, she also repeated the same thing. Ki third paper is a paper of diagrams. The more you present with the diagrams, because diagrams speak more than the words. And diagrams give a very easy message to the other person. When you draw a diagram, you make it clear that you have understood it by heart. You can draw a diagram only when you have a clear-cut understanding of a particular subject. Technology means human development. I said in the beginning of the discussion of this paper, ki when you talk about technology, see, if you don't understand this term technology, you will never understand ki what exactly it needs for a human being to become powerful and strong, and simultaneously with the nation. So science and technology is a very important part. You had humanities in 11th and 12th.
Yes.
How you handled with science and technology?
So for science and technology, I refer to current affairs, the monthly magazine, because mostly the themes which are going in like 1-2 year current, it covers. So not too much to go deeper into it, because obviously because we do not have time also. The syllabus is vast. So for science and tech, just make sure that all the recent development, specifically in terms of Indian recent development, space technology, that has been given in the syllabus itself, biotechnology, etc. Prepare all the major themes. Sometimes they can also ask generalistic question, as I think asked 2-3 years earlier, that how it helps in everyday life. So for that, make sure that you have a holistic understanding of all the examples. And I just did current affairs magazine, and I relied on that only.
Basics for this?
So if I think so for basics, I didn't do, so I just did from current affairs. But if you want to do basics, there are books available in the market.
Example, NCRTs can be referred.
From prelims perspective, but for mains it's mostly detailed. So for instance, they'll give, okay, tell anything about Chandrayaan which has been launched. So then actually you need to write factual about that. If the basics will be asked in the biotechnology, biology, on which the NCRT is based, that is asked in prelims.
Fine. So economy, ecology, internal security and disaster management. You said uniqueness. What do you mean by that?
So uniqueness in terms that you can just the diagrammatic representation, or in terms of that you just differ in terms of dimension. For instance, if there is a 15 marks question, so I made sure that at least I write 3 to 4 subparts. Now some people may miss on the counter argument of that question. So that is how you can just you need to prepare it in such a way that you are an officer and you are preparing a summary report of any. For instance, if we take disaster, you are preparing a summary report which needs to be very beautifully, visual charts needs to be there, official directive needs to be there, and a structure, good structure.
This was the brief description by Sonali about the third paper. She gave a very good insight to you, and here we end the third paper. The fourth paper of GS is ethics, which is very important for human civilization's growth and development. Ethics means the parameter to work in a particular situation. An IS officer will have his own ethics, a military officer will have his own ethics, a bank manager will have his own ethics. Without ethics, you cannot create a sound parameter to work. Ethics is very important. There are certain things which create a divide between human being and animals. The first is wisdom. They also have mind, but wisdom. Second important thing is ethics. It becomes paper 4 of GS in civil services. A paper which requires a lot of practice. Hope Sonali will speak on all the 4 things. So first thing, what do you mean by preparing ethics?
So it's very different from all the GS papers in terms that you do not have to mug up the fact and write there. The element of emotional and philosophical work which we did in ethics needs to be here also. Actually, it's something related to human psychology. So you have to write in that way. So for that, first of all, you need to have a basic understanding. So for instance, I referred to M. Karthikeyan's Ethics and Integrity book, which was in subparts. So you can refer to any book, you can refer to his book also. It's been beautifully covered, all the topics. This is your base. After this, you need to collect examples, quotes. You need to give also phrases. You need to have good examples also. You need to have bad examples also.
Bad examples?
Bad examples in terms that if there is a question about attitude, so you need to have certain positive examples, that a good attitude, how he dealt, and a negative example that in this situation someone handled it negatively and it resulted in harms. So this is how you have to have both the angles. This is your base notes. After that, what you have to do is that once you do your base note comes the the art of practicing, which is necessary in ethics. Ethics is a paper where people can do unique scales in terms of writing, then following different dimensions. If there is a quote, it can mean different to different people. So you have to write in a way that the examiner gets positively influenced and he gives good marks. So for that, I try to just brainstorm the questions, that what all dimensions can be in this. And I made sure that a structure is very important in terms of ethics. For instance, I used to start for the part A, I used to start with quote. Then I used to give a 2-3 line introduction. Then the first angle, that is the demand. Then trying to write about the demand, but then also giving a counter argument. That okay, for instance, I will give you an example. There was a question about are the Jaina philosophy still relevant, and how it could be helpful. So first, in the very first part, 1/3 of my paper was covered that okay, they are relevant. What are the teachings? How it could positively influence our life and in every day. But then also I wrote that okay, some of these principles could not be followed because they do penance, nudity, they do not do that agricultural part. So you have to be practical in that sense, that you write both the angles. I think this will bring diversity to your answer, because many students miss on the second part.
Definitely.
That is the counter argument.
Resources, you said Karthikeyan's.
Yes, sir. Out of which
Value
I made
addition?
notes. For value additions, the newspaper. Year on, I just referred to any kind of, if I saw any example of any bureaucrats, or even we have corporate governance also as a topic. So any example that you find, when the prizes are being distributed, their contribution, etc. And with that also, ChatGPT is the best source. If you say that give me 2 quotes on attitude, it will find and give you. So I made a book kind of, apart from my basic notes, I made a book in which I had the collection of all these quotes, example, phrases, etc. of all the topics. So if any kind of question, because the question will come from the syllabus itself. If any kind of question will come on attitude, I'll make sure that the quote that I have prepared, I'll definitely write. And this will actually differentiate, because some people will write generalistic, but if I write structurally the quote, the examples, and even in the end I can end with a quote, so that will make an impact.
For case studies?
Yes, sir. So for case studies, first is the structure that matters, and which is also very easy to, it's not something very difficult. In structure, you start with an introduction. Again, the value addition that you made, and your notes can be used here. People think that case study is a different ball game. No, it's not. You can use all the GS content. If there is a question, I remember this year that there are certain poor people who are having a shelter at a place, but then it is something related to a government land. What will you do? So I'll just start it with the right to shelter and the specific case law that was being said. Like I can say whatever the case law was there, that okay, everyone has a right to shelter. So once I start this introduction, then I can go on to have various options. But try to make sure that you give at least 3 to 4 options. And in the merits and demerits also, do not write generalistic. Try to use quotes, like you can use Buddha's Madhyam Marg, Aristotle's mean, golden mean. So that is the point, that whenever the examiner is seeing your copy, he should get something very specific. And if you just copy down whatever is written in the case study itself, then I do not think that they'll give such a good marks.
You have to make your answer alive.
Yes, sir. For that, you have to be very, you have to show that, okay, you know the on-ground reality of India also. You are writing from a bureaucrat's mind. So bring and you can end with quotes, phrases. So I think for ethics, a very good thing is doing the background work, which I told you in terms of your quotes, phrases, examples. If you have a very good bank made of these things, I think you can score very good in ethics.
One very important thing which we should discuss again, revision is the far cry of almost all the aspirants.
Yes.
What is your mantra on it?
Yes, sir. So for that, I think the problem arises when we do not control our mind and refer to many resources. For that, what I already strategized, that okay, my first reading will take 1 month, and then after I'll revise it. So the very first step is to limit your resource. If for polity you have referred Lakshmikant, just stop there and then go on with other subject, and then after some time again come back to polity. Only this will reward. So that is the first thing. Then spaced revision. As I said, there will be monthly revision. When your mains will approach, there will be weekly revision. And before you are going into mains examination hall, there will be very short notes that I made for mains. 1 page note. Like in two pages, the entire paper was covered. And this had only the value addition, the committees that I will, because there are certain things which we will remember naturally. Then there are left certain kind of value additions, which or things that we forget. So I just wrote them down on the paper, and before going into examination hall, I revised this. So this way, because I had limited resources, I revised the thing at least 5 to 6 times. So you can plan it that way. The problem will arise when you will just go into market, bring more resources, you will have FOMO, then that will create a vicious cycle.
Ethics is, when I was preparing, we do not have this papers, ethics. So it's a paper of scoring or score limiting. What is your experience?
So I feel that it is a scoring paper. If you give good amount of efforts, it will reward you very well, because it will test your uniqueness and also luck, because sometimes in ethics there is no correct answer. So if you write all the dimensions, give good value additions, I feel it's very scoring as compared to other GS. In all the across all the GSs 1, 2, 3, 4, I think the highest scores that goes is for GS4 only. It goes around till 140. So it's a really scoring paper.
What are the mistakes people do in this paper?
So that is first to be generalistic, that they are writing like GS, they are giving why, what, when. It's not a paper of why, what, when. You have to focus more on how, the philosophical part of it. It just aligns with your essay part. Apart from that, that uniqueness. People are not writing example, analytical explanation. That I said also in essay, that they are just quoting examples blindly, but then not explaining. So what will the examiner understand? So try to approach this paper as if you are a layman. Even if a layman is trying to understand what you have answered, he should understand. And then be a specialist by just quoting examples, but then explaining everything well.
Any relation between ethics and governance?
Yes, sir. Because there are also certain topics which get repeated. Like there is RTI, citizen charter, transparencies. These are there also in governance also. Also the second ARC. It could be very well quoted in the recommendation parts of ethics. So also it's been said as a strategy that if you are preparing ethics, you prepare ethics with the social justice and society part. Because again, it's a paper based on the ground realities of a society. So just prepare these all together and try to be organic. Do not write bookish language. That is the problem.
One last question. Time management of this theoretical part and case studies.
Yes, sir. So the problem arises that people tend to start with case studies and they think that we'll finish it off in half of the time, that is 1 hour 30 minutes, but that does not happen. In terms of perfection, we try to write perfect case study and then we miss on the theory part. But then the problem comes that the examiner will flip on the pages from the front side, which is the section A. So what I did, I had a different art of tackling it, which I feel can reward you. In the very first half an hour, I did 2 case studies. I did them perfectly. After that, what I did, I just jumped on to section A, so that the most good quality content comes in that in between period. I'm not in a rush. Otherwise, what will happen? I'll devote time to case studies, and then the front pages will be very bad, which will create a bad impression. So, in a time limited way of like half an hour, I used to do 2 case studies, then come back to my this paper, and I used to devote around 1.5 hours to this, and then the last time which is left in the last case study, so that even if the examiner is flipping to the last pages, some kind of quality could be compromised. But make sure that your first section does not gets compromised, because that will make the impression.
Fine. You said uniqueness is very important for paper 4. Who helped you to get these examples and value additions? How you got it?
Yes, sir. So first of all, I was lucky enough to get good resources. For instance, the basic notes or standard books of the Karthikeyan sir, which I referred, it already had beautiful tables given, and they were topic-wise examples. So this was a very, like, this almost covered around 60 to 70% of all the examples that I needed. Apart from that, for those who do not have these books, or if you want to refer to other, I'll prefer that AI is the Chat GPT. You can ask all the examples, quotes, phrases related to XYZ topic. It will give you. If anything else was left, it was being covered through test series that I used to give, and also the do not miss the series which were being given by these things, not to miss topics. So these two together holistically covered other kind of value addition. Evaluators used to write in the corners of the copies, and I used to add on whenever I needed a note. So holistically, all these together, that the PYQ themes, the AI, along with the basic notes itself, they covered all the value additions.
This was Sonali Jha, one more gem in the game of civil services. She comes from a general background, a very common background. She spoke everything about her. She gave you a great insight of how she was able to cross this hurdle. You can be the next person here. If you follow these people, if you listen to them, it's not that what you do, you listen and you forget. She also repeated that whatever is boring, you have to learn the art to repeat it. The most important line which I got stuck with it, she says, revision is art. Practice is art. There is a line she said, practice is an art. Exactly. 95% people preparing for civil service, they don't understand that art. Because prelims has a different art, mains has a different art, interview has a different art. And if you miss that art, only labor will be left. So there are 2 words. One is Shramik, means a laborer. One is Shramar, who's also a laborer, but awakened laborer. Cautious, what you call in modern terms, smart work. So if you listen to them, if you take out the core words they have said, if you take out the core formulas they have discussed, I hope 70% of your trouble will be over. Thank you, Sonali. Thanks a lot. See you in the next episode. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.